Hey everybody, it's Bruno. Here's my new episode of MB. Be my next guest on MB by clicking on the link below and we'll contact you. So listen, enjoy the episode.
That's right. What's up, you sucker?
So I'm going to turn the tables around a little bit. And I know you are extremely complimentary of the folks here, at least in Alberta, that you worked with in hockey. But I believe that you never meet anybody at any skill level that you don't learn something from. What did the folks, the experts, and I know that you mentioned Ryan, and we talk about Wally Kozak all the time because, you know, you worked with him, and a slew of others. I mean, you were surrounded by incredible. What did they learn from you and from the Australian experience?
Yeah, well, I hope they learned something.
I throw this out because they did talk about it. So see if you hit it.
I would hope a little bit of just a different way to look at things. You know, like I said, that Australian style of unstructured and less kind of preconceived ideas of what can and can't happen on a hockey rink. I like to think I push the boundaries a little bit of let's try this. That might work. So hopefully just thought outside the box a little bit and kind of shed some light on that.
That's awesome. So what are the plans for NSA Hockey?
Yeah, keep growing our programs. You know, before COVID hit, we had some plans of getting an academy team together that we could perhaps travel overseas with and have overseas teams travel and play us in Australia here. But you know, at every level, we're just trying to each year be better than the last. So our Learn to Play program, we run that for 4 10-week terms a year here in Newcastle. And it's just about getting new players in the game, keeping them in the game, and then moving them on from Learn to Play program to now you're a hockey player. And we deal with about 50 people a week in that program. Working with associations and individuals on young players trying to become elite. So a lot of skill development sessions, a lot of kind of video analysis of games, trying to develop that game sense. And then our recreational hockey leagues. We're trying to build a big community here, and we have a great community here in Newcastle of people who have kind of found themselves in the sport of hockey. We've had people you know, meet their partners in hockey, and just this year we had a marriage come out of 2 people who met through our recreational league. So wow. It's cool seeing that league and that community now be a big part of people's lives. So we just want to keep growing that, and with their help, now we have, you know, hundreds of people growing that with us. And I think that's what's going to produce the next kind of generation of hockey players, right? Once we can get someone in the game as a kid, keep them in the game till they're playing recreationally as an adult, that's a win. Then hopefully they have kids or nephews and nieces that they put back in the game and just keep kind of growing the village.
So let me ask you this. Is there an appetite for a professional league out there?
Yeah, we have the AIHL, the Australian Ice Hockey League, that is not classed as professional, but travel right around the country. Newcastle has one of the most successful teams in that with 6 national championships, and the league's only been going about 20 or so years. So I think there is an appetite for it.
Do you get paid? Do they actually get paid to play?
It's an amateur league, but they bring out imports who are professional hockey players. So they're paying those imports to come out here. And
do they fight?
Do they what, sorry?
Do they fight?
There are some fights. They play under HF rules. So if you fight, you're out of the game and possibly may miss another game. So it's not as kind of tough as the NHL, but it's really skillful, really physical, and draws a lot of fans. And like I said, they're really treated like pros, like flying right around the country. So as an import player, you come to Australia and you're going to see the country kind of play in every major city and possibly win a national championship, which a lot of Canadians will never experience that, right? Just because there's so many people in Canada. So a lot of opportunity here in Australia.
Well, not only that, if you lose, you go outside and the weather's pretty good all the time. It's like playing in Southern California or Florida.
Absolutely. One of our sponsors here in Newcastle is a surf school. So all the guys from out of town or another country, you know, they'll get surf lessons during the week, and yeah, life is good here in Australia.
So tell us a little bit about Newcastle.
Newcastle, about 2 hours north of Sydney. kind of city right on the beach. Some of the I consider myself pretty well traveled, and we have some of the best beaches in the world. We're surrounded by water here, and kind of at the foot of the Hunter Valley, which is home to some of the best kind of wine country in the world as well. So beautiful, great weather, not too big a city. We have a professional rugby team, which is probably the biggest draw sport-wise to Newcastle. It's I live here, I work here, but it honestly feels every day like a vacation spot.
Oh, good for you. Well, the original plan was I was supposed to go down there and hang out and do some coaching things, but we'll get to that, even if we have to get a rowboat to get there and avoid the whole condition. It's a bit of a row, isn't it? But this has been an absolute pleasure talking about this, and I'm quite inspired by your story, and that's why I want to ask you to be on MB. One of the last questions is, do you ever see, I guess with the internet and online shopping, it's probably a lot more, but when you were younger, do you ever see any people wearing NHL jerseys growing up?
All the time, and more so now, where sometimes you'll walk down the street, or you'll be out of town in kind of a rural area where there's no rink in hours, and you'll be walking down the street and see someone with a Detroit Red Wings hat. And I usually will go up to that person if it's in a really unique spot and just ask, like, hey, like, hockey fan? And generally it's, no, I just like the hat. Right. Sometimes it's, no, but I traveled there 2 years ago with my family and we saw a game and we bought some merch. And then sometimes, no, I don't play hockey, but I'm a big fan. I watch Game Center every week. I love Detroit, Vegas, whatever the team is. So yeah, more than you think. You see kind of hockey merch sprinkled around coast to coast.
I can't get it right now, but one of the things I'll tell you is that it's the international language. Sport is the international language for sure. And it's a great conversation opener. I was going to show you some Yankees stuff that I have here, and I'm a diehard Yankees fan. I like the Blue Jays, but I love the Yankees, and it doesn't matter where you're traveling when you see a Yankees hat, pretty much. Always like, hey, you know what? We had a hard day yesterday. Oh, let me tell you. And it was funny because speaking about the beach, I met one of my closest friends right now, and he had a Yankees hat. That's how we met like 10, 15 years ago. And but it is interesting. Well, you know what? That's pretty much all the time we have for this episode today. Thank you for tuning in with us. And you know what? Make sure you subscribe to our Megapix Media channel so you will never miss an episode. And also you can follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook, Instagram. We have content almost every day. So thank you very much for joining us. I'll see you guys soon.